When Malaysia first constructed its social security system, the focus was entirely on the factory floor. The goal was to shield laborers from the acute physical dangers of industrial work. For decades, the system operated within a narrow silo. Employers funded the employment injury scheme, meaning if you were hurt on the clock or during an authorized commute, your medical and financial recovery was covered. This 24-hour timeline illustrates the mechanical flaw in that early model. The blue section shows the protected zone of a standard workday. But the second you clock out, that institutional firewall shuts down, leaving the remaining 16 hours of the day exposed. During those off hours, you are vulnerable to non-work accidents: a fall from a ladder while fixing your roof on a Sunday, a torn ligament during a weekend football match, or a road accident while traveling back to your hometown for a festive holiday. Without a safety net, an off-the-clock injury quickly becomes a financial emergency. To survive the loss of income and pay for rehabilitation, workers frequently drain their EPF retirement savings or take on high-interest personal loans. The government needed to stop this economic bleed, but they faced a structural roadblock. They could not legally or ethically force businesses to pay for their employees' private weekend risks. On June 1, 2026, PERKESO deployed a permanent patch for this vulnerability, the LINDUNG 24 Jam Scheme. It provides 24/7 protection for the workforce. The scheme's mechanics bypass the old funding roadblock by separating professional liability from personal risk. To build the off-the-clock firewall, the employee funds it themselves. This animated payslip shows exactly how the first phase is financed. It requires a mandatory deduction of 0.75% of the employee's monthly wages. That deduction is strictly capped, hitting a hard ceiling at a maximum wage of 6,000 ringgit. Employers do not contribute to this fund. They operate purely as payment processors, deducting the amount and remitting it to PERKESO. The state managed to weave a self-sustaining safety net without levying a new tax on businesses. Those monthly contributions pay for a comprehensive suite of short and long-term cash benefits. The scheme operates as an income replacement tool through disablement benefits, funds physical rehabilitation, and provides dependent payouts if an accident proves fatal. A social security framework of this scale must protect itself from abuse. To prevent systemic overlap and fraud, rigid legal parameters are written into the code. The exclusions are explicit. It will not cover injuries that fall under this standard workplace scheme. It also rejects claims for overseas accidents, self-inflicted harm, or any injuries sustained while committing a crime. Otherwise, the coverage is inclusive. If you are an active contributor under the Primary Act, you are eligible. And as confirmed here, that specifically includes part-time and contract workers. By enforcing these strict boundaries, PERKESO ensures the scheme functions exclusively as an off-the-clock safety net. It prevents the new system from buckling under the weight of liabilities it was never designed to hold. With the patch deployed, Malaysia's workforce is encased in a holistic protection model, shielded from the moment they wake up to the moment they go to sleep. Then, in July 2026, the government introduced a major policy variable, an opt-out clause. While the monthly contribution remains mandatory for foreign workers, local Malaysian citizens are given the choice to withdraw from the scheme entirely. This introduces a vulnerability to the system, known as adverse selection. In this visualized risk pool, every node represents a contributing worker. Watch what happens when participation becomes voluntary. If young, healthy, office-bound workers decide to opt out to save a few ringgit a month, the green nodes disappear. The pool is suddenly left concentrated exclusively with high-risk individuals, people who know they are likely to need a payout. The entire mathematical concept of sharing the risk breaks down. A social insurance fund requires a broad, steady base of healthy, low-risk contributors to financially support the minority who suffer catastrophic accidents. LINDUNG 24 Hours offers a tier of comprehensive coverage that conventional private policies struggle to match at 0.75%.